Imagine this. You wake up, you grab your phone, and your bank account is frozen. Your mortgage is due. The emails are rolling in, and investors are pulling the plug. And to top it off, your wife says she wants out. Everything you've built is gone overnight. It feels like the start of a movie, right? But this time you're the main character, and if you screw this up, there's not gonna be any sequel. Now, most guys would just fold at that moment. But here's the thing, if you know one ratio, you can get back up. And I'm not talking about some online hack. I'm not talking about a trick either. It's just a simple ratio that decides who wins and who gets buried in business. And once you get it, rebuilding from zero is actually faster than most people realize. In this video, I'll teach you how to come back after you've lost everything. And the best part is you're gonna make it look easy. So let's dive into it. Step one is you need an offer that prints cash. The clock is ticking, right? This is your movie moment. You need to make money fast. Not in 6 months and not in 90 days. I'm talking about 30 days or less. And if you can't get money back fast, you're as good as dead in business. Everything comes down to your top line revenue. So think about it like a loop. You spend money today to get prospects. You close a few of them right away. Those are your customers. And then you structure the price, maybe the upsells or the payment terms. And that makes the money come in to where it covers what you just spent to capture it. Once you've got that, you just recycle the dollars. You run it again and again. And as long as the numbers hold, you shove more in and you scale right up until you hit capacity. That's business. And that's how growth becomes a flywheel. You spend, you collect, you recycle, and you scale. Now, if your payback is longer, let's say 60 to 90 days, you've got to bunch as much revenue on day one as possible. You could collect deposits. You could give people a reason to pay in full or add a premium backend tier. Whatever it takes, the goal is to drag that cash forward so it fits inside of a single card cycle. If you ignore that timing, here's what happens. You grow into a cash crunch. The pipeline's full. Your calendar looks great, but your account is empty. And that's how most businesses die. Step two. Trends die, but funnels print. All right, so you made it through the first 30 days. Congratulations, you're still alive. So here's the next level. Most people waste their time chasing trends. It could be some DM strategy for social media or a new email tool that increases your deliverability with Gmail. Whatever it is, that stuff always dies. What lasts is the funnel. The funnel is the engine of business. It's the math that lets you outspend, outlast, and outscale everybody else. And in case you're wondering what a funnel actually is, it's just the front door to your offer. Every business has one. Apple's keynote, NVIDIA's product launches, Tesla's pre-order pages, they're all funnels, whether they're camouflaged or not. And here's the only rule that really matters. Don't run out of cash. That's the business game. Cash flow is oxygen. If you can breathe, you can stay in the game long enough to win. So how do you actually make it profitable? You need a model that makes more money per customer than anyone else in your market. If you can make more, you can spend more to capture a prospect. And if you can spend more, you own the distribution in your business. That's a monopoly. It is legal, it's simple, but it's ruthless. The tech godfather, Peter Thiel, put it perfectly. He said, every great business is a monopoly, but they spend all their time convincing the media and the government that they're not. The best companies don't compete. And as he says, competition is for suckers. So let me ask you this. If you could spend $1 today and get $10 back within 30 days, how much would you spend? You get my point? Every dollar you could get your hands on, you'd shove into your funnel. That's the funnel that we're gonna build together. Step three is collect cash early and often. Let's talk about how you design offers that collect cash early. At this stage, what matters is speed and size, how fast the money hits your account and how much. Here's how you do it. First, you can raise your price. If nobody ever tells you that's expensive, then your price is too low. Price sets the frame. It tells people whether to take you seriously, and it filters out all those time wasters that fill up your schedule. Be the guy who charges full value because you deliver full value. Second, cut the fat. Look at your delivery, switch up vendors, tighten up your systems, and cut out the waste. The more margin you have, the more oxygen your business has to breathe and survive another day. Third, focus on your upsells. More, better, faster is the rule of thumb. Add a premium version, a done-for-you option, personal coaching, or a way to get results quicker. Stack them on top of your core offer. And then fourth is your downsells. Once you have someone in your funnel, this is where people mess up. Don't pull someone down from your premium just to close the sale. A downsell should be only for the person who's never going to buy the top tier of your offer. Fifth, focus on your cross sells. Think burgers and fries and a Coke. If you're selling software, add onboarding. If it's a course, bundle it into a community. Product plus warranty, or stack offers inside of each other like Russian dolls. And then 6, offer financing and terms. Payment plans are fine, but structure them so you get at least half your cash up front. And use the popular buy now, pay later tools that advance you almost all of the cash up front. The whole point is to cover your acquisition costs, bare minimum, in under 30 days. And then 7th, prepay incentives. This is huge. Give people a real reason to pay for reservations. Elon Musk is a master at selling things that don't exist, like the payments, for example, on his Tesla Roadster car. They've been outstanding for nearly half a decade and rolling. Prepayment turns a slow trickle into a cash flood. And finally, scarcity and sequencing. Don't just sell randomly like you're spraying a machine gun. Use cohorts, limit seats, set windows and expirations. That rhythm creates cash spikes that you can plan all of your growth in your company around, and motivate your team to sell offers during tentpole moments where you need to do a cash pull all at once. Most founders sit around begging for cheaper leads. The smart ones engineer their revenue to outspend everyone in their niche. They don't wait for luck, they build the funnel right. Step 4, know your conversion math cold. You don't need a finance degree to get this part right, and it's not complicated. You can do it tonight with a dry erase marker on your fridge door. The first thing is you want to figure out your CAC. That's your cost to acquire a customer. Add up what you spent last year trying to get customers. That's ad sales, commissions, your marketing, payroll, even third-party agencies if you hired them. Take that total and divide it by the number of new customers that you got. That is your CAC. It's simple, right? Next, figure out your LTV. That's your lifetime value. And I mean gross profit of a customer. That's more than just the top line revenue. Take what the average customer spends with you over their life, then multiply by your gross margin. So if someone spends $1,000 and your margin is 70%, that means your customer is worth $700 in gross profit. That's your LTV. Now, mash them together. That's the ratio, LTV to CAC. Let's say the average customer is worth $1,400 in gross profit on your offer, and it costs you $400 to acquire them. That's $1,400 divided by 400, about 3.5 to 1. That's your spread. That's the game that you're actually playing. But here's the important part. Don't just look at the ratio. Check the payback. How much of that gross profit actually hits your account in the first 30 days? That's the metric. Because if it takes you a year to make back what you spend, you're gonna starve and go out of business. And it doesn't matter if the ratio looks good over 12 months. A good business with a slow payback dies, but an average business with a rapid payback scales. So that's what you want to aim for. Step 5, get your cost of acquisition lower. This is a never-ending journey, but let's talk about lowering that CAC. And by the way, that doesn't mean chasing cheap leads. Anybody can do that. I can build a Python script that scrapes a directory and gives you free leads, but it's meaningless. That's not the game. The game is lowering your cost per customer while keeping your conversion rates and average order value solid. So first, audit your offer. If people don't understand the win, they won't buy. Make the outcome on your offer crystal clear. Then add a guarantee, show proof, and be honest about who it's for and who it's not. That alone cuts the acquisition cost. Next is the volume of your creative. Most people test 1 or 2 ads. It surprises me all the time. Someone will have 2 ads and then complain it's not working. You need more hooks, more angles, and more formats. Take your winners and remake them. Rotate them, because ad fatigue is real, especially today. AI can help with this. With AI, you can clone hundreds of variants out of your original ad and then split test all of them. Then upgrade the first offer. I'm talking about the first page people see. That's your landing page, your pre-sale page, and your video sales letter. Test your headlines, your CTAs, and remember, speed matters and clarity sells. After that, tighten the sales motion. If you're selling on the phone, you need scripts, objection libraries, recorded calls, daily drills, leaderboards, and SOPs that are documented so anybody can walk in and sell. If you're selling on the page, it's the same principle. You need stronger FAQs, tighter guarantees, smoother checkouts, and plenty of social proof. Anytime you introduce friction, it's gonna kill revenue. Now, find cheaper CPMs without all the junk. That means testing all the marketing channels where the math actually works. You could compare search versus social. You could compare partner emails versus your own email drops. You could even compare niche newsletters, door-to-door mail. It doesn't matter what it is. You wanna track everything, and you wanna stop tracking all the vanity stuff, like your social media views or your story views. You want customers, not clicks. And finally, follow-up closes is where most of the money is. This is where people lose most of their money too. If you build 7 to 14 touch sequences across text, email, and retargeting, move them to a call, move them to a deadline, move them to a choice. Don't let leads die on the vine in silence. But here's the trap that everybody falls for. We all want cheaper customers as business owners, right? But sometimes the business with the cheaper customers is actually worse. And in a minute, I'm gonna show you exactly why. Step number 6. Let's make this one simple. Imagine you have two businesses. Business A has a customer worth $5,000 in gross profit, and it costs them $500 to acquire that customer. That's a 10-to-1 ratio. Business B, the customer's worth $1,000 in gross profit, but it costs $200 to acquire. That's a 5-to-1. So who wins? Business A wins every damn time. Why? Because even though they're spending more to get a customer, they're making double the return. You can't take cheap to the bank, but you can take the spread to the bank. And here's where a lot of people trip up. They'll say, but my most expensive offer is only $99. And it could be because you're in SaaS or you sell AI or you've got a subscription business. That's fine. Keep the low ticket, but you also need to create a high ticket offer on your back end. Every business can do this. Look around. Restaurants even do this. They don't just sell $8 sandwiches anymore. They sell catering packages worth $5,000 a month. I grabbed a bagel the other day and they asked if I wanted catering for my whole office. It was something like $20,000 being pitched to me while I bought a bagel. And that's exactly what you need to be doing. So if you're stuck at $99 a month, that's not the ceiling. It just means you haven't created the high ticket path yet. And stop bragging about $10 leads. Start bragging about 30-day payback and a 10-to-1 spread. That's what actually matters, and that's how you're gonna build an empire. Step number 7, I want you to steal this playbook. This is my CAC and LTV blueprint that you can steal. And this isn't something you do just once. It's a loop. You need to be running it every single month or quarter. First step is to lift your LTV. That means squeeze more value out of every customer. Raise your price across the board by 10 to 30%. Then add a premium tier with a faster result or a VIP experience. And bolt on a high margin cross-sell. Remember, fries and Coke and a burger. Give people a pay in full bonus so they hand you the cash up front. And don't forget the boring stuff. Negotiate vendor rates, cut waste, and tighten your distribution. Margin is leverage. And then second, cut CAC without killing quality. Now, how do you do that? You ship more creative, not 2 ads. I want you to ship 20 to 50 to 100 ads. Constantly add new channels, test them, kill the losers, refresh your landing page, the headline, the hero, the CTA. Build a follow-up sequence that actually follows up 14 touches minimum across text, email, and voice. And if you've got a sales team, drill them daily, record the calls, review them, sharpen that axe. And then third, shorten the payback window. Collect deposits from your customers, offer split terms, but don't start work until it's paid off. Stack heavy incentives for annual or upfront payments and use urgency. That's cohorts and limited windows. This makes cash come in fast instead of dripping out slow. And then fourth, capacity and cushion. Don't wait until you're drowning to hire. Get ahead of it and expect that new people will not be good at their jobs. Build cushion by keeping your ratio higher than you technically need. And track your cash flow daily. What's coming in and what's going out. That's your job, not your CFO's. And here's the thing you can't forget. None of this relies on a trick or some guru's loophole. This model survives any type of algorithm change either. While everyone else is crying about their ads tanking, you're gonna be scaling in the next recession. And now you've got it. That's my exact blueprint for how I'd build back from zero if I lost everything. You need to be the type of founder who's able to outspend because he out-earns. You've got to guard your 30-day payback like it's your lifeline. And then you've got to build a cushion because growth is messy and painful. And then don't forget to cut weak offers. Double down the strong ones and stop telling yourself stories. Audit the numbers yourself, week in and week out. Everything changes when you stop asking for cheaper leads and start asking, how do I make as much money as possible per customer in the first 30 days? After that, you can buy every ounce of attention in your marketplace. Nobody can beat the business that saturates the marketplace. That's the real game. Prioritizing funnels over trends and cash over clicks. If you play this right, then losing everything isn't the end in your life. It's just the reset button for something bigger. And if you got value from this video, hit that subscribe button. And you can watch my last video by clicking right here, and I'll see you in the trenches.